Everybody. So we're here tonight. Yes, it is Wednesday already. I know. I was like stressing earlier trying to make sure I was going to be ready to come on for tonight. So we're going to just give it a couple of minutes, let some people tune in. As always, I will be checking your comments as I am building the arrangement for tonight. So while we're waiting for some people to sign on, I have to say I apologize. Last week I kept saying Valentine's Day was next week. It was next week. It was next week. It's not next week. It wasn't next week last week either. I don't know why I was in my head thinking it was next week, but it's not next week. We're getting close though. I think for me it feels like it's coming because I think in the florist industry, Valentine's Day is like the biggest year for them. It's bigger than Christmas. So for me, it's like my first time doing flowers for Valentine's Day. So for me, it feels like it's next week. It's not next week. But nonetheless, what I decided to do for this week is actually build a basket for you. So what I'm going to do is build a basket. It's going to have roses in it, so it's definitely something that you could use for Valentine's Day, but it's not that traditional dozen roses in a vase kind of a situation. So I'm going to build a basket for you tonight, and like we have the last couple of weeks, we will chat, we'll talk, I will go through, I will check messages as we are doing this. If I don't see your messages immediately, it's because I'm focused on what I'm doing and I don't necessarily have the chat feature up. I have to click on it. So if I don't get your question immediately, if I didn't answer it verbally, I will go in and I will answer your questions afterward. So let's see, we got 5 people watching. We'll give it another minute, see if some more people jump on. Some of you that are watching have already ordered flowers from me, so I hope that you have enjoyed your flowers that you've gotten. Like I said, we're going to have flowers available obviously for Valentine's Day, so what I will tell you for Valentine's Day, get your orders in nice and early. I've already started to order flowers for Valentine's Day. I've already started even receiving flowers for Valentine's Day. So if you know, yes, I absolutely know I'm going to be getting a Valentine's Day floral arrangement, and I definitely want to get it from Birch and Cork. Let me know as soon as you can, because I anticipate running out. So let me know if you want to do that. I will lock in your floral orders as soon as now, and we'll get that squared away for you so that you know. I know I have my floral arrangement ready to go for Valentine's Day. So ladies, if you're tuning in and you know you want to get your flowers from here, maybe let your husband know, your boyfriend know, or your significant others know. Hey, go to Dottie, go talk to Birch and Cork. They're the ones you should buy flowers from this year. Let them know. Yes, just like with Christmas, I will be open. I will be open late. Valentine's Day is on a Sunday, which is kind of a weird day for it to fall on, but it is on a Sunday. We are open anyways on Sundays from 10 to 6. So we're going to be open anyways, but let us know, and you can buy, the arrangements early too. We'll be on Saturday. So just let us know if you want a floral arrangement, and we'll make it happen for you. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Oh, I'm glad you liked your arrangement, Jess. That's fantastic. So I want to go ahead and get started. kind of take it from there. All right, so what we're going to be building tonight is a basket. I was going to do this basket, and this is a great basket. You'll be shocked. I can take this little basket, and I can make a rather large arrangement out of it, or in it. It's really a great sized basket for a small arrangement up to even possibly a medium arrangement. So it looks small right now, but it will actually be really big at the end if I was going to use this basket. I think I'm actually going to use this basket, and the reason for that is because this will end up being a medium to a large sized arrangement. So I think I'm going to use this one for tonight, and we're going to kind of take it from there. So the very first thing that I do with my baskets is always make sure that it's clean, it's free of any broken pieces. There's nothing that's going to affect the integrity of the basket. So I always start with that first. The next thing I'm going to do is, believe it or not, how I'm going to build this arrangement is with some floral foam. And what I've done is I've got some foam in this bucket, and it's actually been soaking in water. So what I'll do is, before I put this in my basket, if I put it in right now, I've got holes in my basket, the water's going to leak out and it's going to make a big mess. So what I want to do is put a liner in this. And there's different things you can do. You can order a liner that fits perfectly in here and is really nice and whatnot, but sometimes those are expensive, or maybe it's not going to fit your basket perfectly. So what I will do is I will actually take some plastic, and I will stretch it out, and I will cut it to fit the size of the basket, or at least initially fit the size of the basket. I'm gonna start with that. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you'll see as we're working with this that what we'll actually do is go ahead and tuck this in, and then we will trim this up. We'll give it a little bit of a haircut once our foam is in here. I will tell you, I just realized I forgot something that I need desperately to do this. So I'm going to step off the camera for 1 second, grab something that I know I need for this, and come right back. But what I've done here is I've actually taken my floral foam and I've popped it right in on top of this plastic. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go get that thing. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I have to have tape. Need tape. Waterproof tape. Gotta have it. Alright. So, I'm going to go ahead and give my basket a little bit of a haircut. So I'm going to cut this plastic right off. I only need enough to go into the lining of this basket. And again, usually what I'll do is, okay, I'm using the plastic I'm using in this basket, because obviously, you know, I'm an upcycler, I'm a recycler. I don't want to waste plastic. So what I will actually do with this is, I've got enough plastic here that I'll tuck this away somewhere, and I would maybe use it in my smaller basket later. So I don't like to waste things if I can avoid it. So I will tuck that off to the side there, and I'll use that later for another arrangement. So now I've given my plastic a little haircut, and now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to secure this floral foam in this basket, so that if, you know, you never know where this basket's going to end up. It might go to a house with kids or animals or things like that where it might tip over. And what you don't want is your flowers actually tipping over out of the basket if it tips over. So what we'll do is we'll take some of our waterproof tape, and we will go ahead and actually create a little cage in this basket so that it's not going to tip over and knock our foam out of our basket. So just take a little piece, and I'm actually going to stretch it over the top. Now what I will do is I will attach this, and then I will go back and trim my long pieces when I'm done. Depending on what you're doing for an arrangement, you may not actually need to trim, because believe it or not, you might actually hide the tape pretty well with your leaves and things like that. So I do 2 pieces going across, and then I'm going to do 1 piece going the other way. And that will kind of create a little cage so that my flowers don't fall out if the basket were to tip over. Now, obviously this is still a floral arrangement. If you send it out the window of a car, it's going to fall apart. So be kind to your floral arrangements, be gentle with them. They can fall apart, they will. You can still pull things out of here. It's not always, you know, a perfect science. The other thing that's really nice about this is by creating this sort of grid pattern here, it helps me be able to hold the flowers directly in place where I want to. Sometimes you use some thicker stemmed flowers that even though you're putting it in floral foam, it still doesn't hold up super well. So having a little grid pattern here where a rose or a thicker flower can actually lean against it will actually help things stay in place, so that when you set things, they stay where you intend for them to be. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to trim my tape. That way we hide the secrets. No one will know. And you won't see any of this. You would not know that there was even foam in this basket unless I told you or showed you like I am right now. So next thing I'm going to do is start building my base. So the first thing I'm going to do that is actually start with my greens. I hope you all have had a calm week, or a relaxing week, productive week, whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish. I hope that it's been that for you. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is start thinking about the length that I want to have with my flowers. Obviously, if I take this whole thing and stick it in to this basket right now, my leaves are going to stick out to here. So you really want to measure. Sometimes you put things in and it's still not quite the right thing, but you do the best you can. So what I want to do is try to create a base in the bottom here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my first leaf in. And right now I want to use leaves that are kind of wide like this one. So again, just like we would with our vase, we want to make sure that we're not sticking in leaves or anything like that. We want this to be a clear stem, and we want it to kind of have a little bit of a point to it so that you can get it into your foam. Now, the rule of thumb here is set it and forget it. Don't start pulling things in and out of these pieces of foam. If you can avoid it, every once in a while I will pull it out because I just have to reset it because it just doesn't look right. But for the most part, once you put it into this foam, you really kind of want to leave it there if you can. You don't want to be pulling things in and out of here 100 times because your foam will lose its integrity and it will fall apart. So if anybody has any questions, by all means, you can ask them. I do have family members and friends watching, so if for some reason I'm missing questions, they're pretty good about letting me know I missed something. So don't be afraid to ask a question about anything. It can be about the flowers, it can be about the store, it can be about hours, it can be about anything. Anyone that knows me knows I love to talk, so please give me something to talk about. Give me content. So you can already kind of tell my small basket just got a lot bigger just with adding the greens in here. So now that I've used my widest flowers, now we'll go back, or my widest greens, I will go back and kind of backfill in here where I think maybe it needs a little more. If I kept going with this and I just did greens, you'd think this was a plant. You really would. You could just keep going with this if you wanted. I think that looks pretty good. I think that's a pretty good start. Now, as you're building this, you can always, later on, step back from your arrangement, look at it, and say, you know what, I think I need another green in the bottom here, and you can always go back through and pop it in later. That's not a problem. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do, I actually have some more greens, but they're different, that I want to pop in here that I think are gonna look really cute. They're a little different. I'm gonna try using some of these. Again, I by no means know everything. I would say I'm sure some florist is looking at this video saying, that's not how you do that. It probably isn't, but that's how I do certain things. So this is not really meant to be an educational experience. More or less it's meant to just kind of be a relaxing experience, be something where people can kind of tune in, check out from their stressful week, relax a little bit, see what we do, see if you like our flowers. If you do, by all means, order from us. We're happy to fill a need where we see one. We felt like we saw that we didn't have a lot of options for flowers. We especially didn't have any options really in Hinsdale. I think maybe there is some people that do some arranging out of their houses locally, which by all means is a wonderful thing to do, and we support you in that. But as far as being able to walk into a store and look at some flowers and buy something, there really wasn't a lot of options, so we wanted to fill that need. So here we are. Actually going to put one right in the middle. I'm going to tuck this in underneath the handle here, right in the middle. So now we have just about completely covered this basket. If you really look hard, you can tell that there's floral foam in there. But for the most part, you really can't tell that there's anything in the middle of this basket. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep doing this with the flowers. We're going to add the flowers in next. So the next thing that I'm going to add is my roses. So I have some beautiful red roses that I'm going to go ahead and start popping in my basket. I pulled 6 out. 6 should be plenty. For what I'm trying to do, 6 ought to be plenty. That's beautiful. All right. And here we go. So again, I think I've said this before, but what I'm actually doing is pulling off the gardening petals off the roses. They're a thicker petal than your average petal on the inside of the rose, and they're really just there to protect the petal underneath. So we pull those off because they're just a little rougher. They're not always super nice. They can get a little bit bruised. So we always want to make sure that we pull those off so that you get the prettiest portion of the rose that you can. You guys are quiet tonight. My goodness. It's like it's the middle of the week or something, and you're all stressed or something. That's why we're here, folks. To relax and unwind. Think about something other than work or the kids or school or whatever it is that's got you stressed out today or this week. I know where I am in Hinsdale, Massachusetts, we got a ton of snow this week. And sometimes in the dead of January, snow is the last thing that you want. And it's been cold, so cold. Although I will say I was driving down the hill earlier today to pick up one of my floral orders from the shipping center, and it was just beautiful. All of the snow was sticking to the trees. It was beautiful. It truly was beautiful. So sometimes you just gotta find the positive and the negative, and I certainly did today. It was really nice. And these days I don't get out as much as I once did, so it's nice to kind of get out of the house and look at the pretty snow, go for a little drive. Seeing some names of people I haven't talked to in ages. Hello. So what I like to do is alternate long and short in my basket. I don't want all of my roses to sit at the same height. I want to spread them out So as I'm doing this, you can start to see that I've got a little hole. I see one here, so I'm gonna put another rose there. And again, this is definitely a basket that you could do for Valentine's Day, but you certainly don't have to. Roses are so versatile and most people absolutely love them. And so you could do this basket at Christmas time. If it were me, I would switch out some of these greens for Christmas greens, and that little bit of red roses, some white, and some Christmas greens, and you have a Christmas basket. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Oh, that's just a gorgeous rose. Now with these, I will try to leave some of the leaves on the top if I can, because again, it fills my basket just that much more. So I will try to leave those. If I can't, then I can't, I pull them off. But I do try to leave greens where and when I can. But again, keeping in mind that I don't want my greens in my floral foam. That is not going to be helpful. All right, I think my red roses are in. Again, this basket's already starting to fill up. It's already starting to look like an arrangement. So now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna backfill with some smaller spray roses. And I pulled in some beautiful pinks that I just got in. And I have some whites in here. Pull those out. And we'll see what we can do here. It doesn't take much to fill baskets, it really doesn't. So you may have noticed that the piece of foam that I put into my basket was square. So whenever you have a piece of foam that's square, you have a flat top and you have flat sides and a flat bottom. So what I'm actually doing now, and you can't see this, but what I'm actually doing is I'm pushing these smaller roses into the side of that floral foam. So instead of going into the top, I'm actually finding the side and I'm pushing it into the side to sort of make sure that these smaller roses sit a little lower in my basket. Again, this is the first time I've actually pulled something out and reset it, and again, it's really just because I don't like where it's sitting, and I don't do this very often because my foam will just simply fall apart if I do it too much. So every once in a while you pull it out and you reset it, but for the most part I try not to do that if I can avoid it. Go, it's coming together. So I actually, when I started out doing flowers, I actually was more comfortable doing baskets than I was doing vases. And the reason why was because I had felt like I had more control over where those flowers were gonna sit in my basket. I felt like I had less control in a vase. I've learned since then that you can have just as much control in a vase if you know what you're doing. So I've learned over time how to do this in a vase as well, and now it really doesn't matter to me what kind of arrangement I do, whether it's a basket or a vase. I actually haven't done a basket probably since Christmas because everyone's been wanting vases, so that's why I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a basket. I haven't done one in a while. I think it's time. Let's do this. now I'm gonna go ahead and put in my whites. Again, these are white spray roses, and this just fills that basket, it fills things up. Just filling my holes. So what I have is actually two separate ones. So what I'm gonna do, because I put white on one side, I'm gonna go to the very opposite side and I'm gonna add some white, which actually works out just about perfectly. So that works out good. So I actually have a little bit of a hole over here, so that's perfect. Goes. All right. I am actually. All right. I think the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm actually going to set my stick in the middle. Now the stick is way too long, so what I'm going to do is trim this down to a smaller size. I absolutely love using these sticks. You guys will notice I use sticks in just about every arrangement that I have made. And the reason for it is simply because I find it just adds a totally different layer of individuality. You know, it's sort of my signature at this point. So I really enjoy placing these sticks in these arrangements. I just think they're really stunning and beautiful, and it's just different than what maybe other people are doing. So this is a little bit of a challenge. There's two ways of doing this. I can take this stick and feed it through under my handle of my basket, or I can simply turn it this way, which I'm thinking that might be what I do. Just simply turn it. Now I'm gonna go the hard way. Because why not? Why not do it the hard way? So I could have gone the other way and just made it flush with the handle, but we'll go and do it the other way. So I'm actually feeding this through. I could have done this first, but again, I never seem to take the easy road. I always take the hard road, the road less traveled. All right, there we go. So now I've set my stick in the middle of my basket. Now these sticks are never straight, so they're never going to sit perfect, and that's what makes them so unique and why I love them so much. So I always have to play with them a little bit to make sure that they're gonna sit really where I want them to sit. That's great. All right, that's not half bad right there. It's always a game playing with these. All right, that's not too bad. So now I've got some more filler. I'm gonna go ahead in here, backfill. Sometimes when I put something in that's a little bit bigger, it makes a big space and I have to move things around and reset them. That's what I'm doing right now. Actually do is create a middle right out of these. Normally I would use another thing, but you know what? This might be fun. Let's see what we can do here. Now, if anybody's seeing this basket tonight and you absolutely love it, you need to have it, can't live without it, or you know somebody that would love it, they have to have it, they can't live without it, let me know. Because this basket is not spoken for yet. It will be available for sale. And if for some reason it sells, then I'm happy to make another one, providing I have the materials to do so. Roses I most certainly have. I think that the challenge would be the basket. I don't necessarily have another white basket, but I could get one if you're patient. So again, I'm just sort of building up this middle. Usually what I do is I'll take just a longer flower and I'll pop that right in the middle, but I didn't grab any from my cooler tonight, and so I'm working with what I have, which I will tell you is something that I seem to do very well. I make the most of the situation I'm in. Anybody that knows me, especially more recently, knows that's kind of my mantra lately, is making the most out of maybe not the most ideal situations in life. So here I stand, doing that once again in the most obvious way, and that's with this floral arrangement right now. And you know what? Sometimes the things that you didn't plan end up being some of the most beautiful things you ever could have experienced. So, there we go. Things never go as planned. Ever, ever, not in life. As soon as you make a plan, whatever power that is laughing at you. Laughing at you. Because it's not going to go the way you planned it. Ever, 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 ever. And so sometimes you just have to learn to roll with it. Which, as you can probably surmise from COVID this last year, and it has been almost a year, I will tell you, that blew my mind the other day when I really sat down and thought about it. It's been almost a year that we've all been in our houses, trapped, and I cannot believe it. I never thought we'd be dealing with this for over a year. That is kind of shocking to me, but yet here we are, and we're making the most of it. And for some of us, it's been an awful experience, and for others, maybe it hasn't been so bad. Maybe you like being in your house. There we go. So not really what I had necessarily envisioned, but actually I don't think that looks half bad. So now the last thing I'm going to do is backfill with some of these fillers. Now I love these. I absolutely love these flowers. They're just a really simple flower. What I like about them is they're so delicate and they're so pretty, and they really give any arrangement really some character, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to pop these in little places and just really make this arrangement become a little bit more dynamic. Sometimes my pieces are too short and I have to put them aside for a smaller arrangement, so bear with me here. And I'm just going to pop these in kind of all around my basket. I do turn them in a certain way so that they're in a position where they're just kind of flowing and sticking out and looking pretty. And again, this is just going to give my arrangement some depth. Start to see how that is really popping. This whole arrangement is just really creating a much more elegant dynamic than it had previously. And again, I don't think there's any right or wrong way of decorating flowers. It's kind of like looking at a piece of art, a painting, and saying, oh, that's they did that wrong. No, you don't do it wrong. You might not like it, that's different, but it's not that it's wrong. Now, you can garden wrong, and when I say that, I mean the flowers might not grow, you can not handle the flowers correctly, and then they'll die on you, but that's a little bit different than the arranging aspect of it, I feel anyways. Again, there's probably a florist out there that's, nah, that's not the way it is. And again, we're always learning. At least I am. I don't know everything. I'm always creating, developing, and there's always tricks, and let's do it this way, or let's do it that way, let's change this, let's add that, you know, and you get better at things, or, you know, you try different things, new things. If anybody has any questions, by all means, go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will try to answer them for you. And if I don't catch them while on here, I will most certainly go back in the chat, and after the video has ended, and I will answer your question there. So far, we've done pretty well on the weekends, despite COVID, despite those high numbers. We're gonna try to be open again this weekend if possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop this piece right in my middle, right in the middle of my white. Let's see what that looks like. Sometimes I do this and I love it, and other times I do this and I'm like, eh, I'm not loving it. Again, there's no right or wrong, it's just somebody likes. I actually like that. I think that looks good. All right, give it a spin. See if we need to do some more here or if we're good. So again, these filler flowers, these are really dynamic and interesting, and I can do so many things with these. If you got some of my arrangements a month ago, I put these in a bunch of my arrangements and they were actually sprayed. I sprayed them different colors. So sometimes I sprayed them like a maroon color, sometimes I sprayed them a blue color. I put gold in them, and that really makes things pop and is really pretty. So these are just a really dynamic piece that I just love. I think they're beautiful. I really do. So again, I'll go through, and if I think something needs to be moved or changed, sometimes I'll pull, actually what I'm doing right now. Again, I don't recommend that you do a lot of playing with the flowers in the sense that you're pulling things out and you're resetting in this foam, because really what happens when you sink these stems into the foam is you make a hole. And so every time you pull a flower out and you put it back in, you're making that hole bigger, or you're making another hole. And if you do that too many times, eventually your foam's gonna fall apart. And not that the foam's overly expensive, but you don't want to waste things, you know. Again, I'm a big non-waster. Why waste foam if you don't have to? So if you're smart about where you set things and how you set things, you'll do pretty well. So I think I'm done with the flower part of this. So what I'm gonna do is take my extras and pop it right back into my water bucket here. And I will then move some of my garbage out of the way here so that I can work a little bit clearer for you. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, I think I want to add a ribbon to this. Now you can add a ribbon to the top and make that kind of a focal point, but I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I think what I'm going to do, let's see, yeah, I think I'm going to add this. Thought about this other lace. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think that's going to be too much, so I don't think I'm going to use this one tonight. I think I'm going to go with my just this kind of simple lace here. There's so many people that have logged on that I don't know. By all means, please introduce yourself. I would love to get to know some of you better. And if you don't know who we are, because I don't know who sees these or who doesn't, but I'm the CEO and founder of Birch & Cork Furniture Company. We're a upcycled furniture company that just started in Hinsdale, Massachusetts. Yes, I did say Hinsdale. Hinsdale's kind of a sleepy little town in western Massachusetts. Not very big. There's not a lot going on in Hinsdale. But now there's a florist shop and a furniture store, and we sell other items. We are open 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday on the weekends, and then we're open by appointment Tuesday through Friday. We try to take Mondays off, although you will find me in here on most Mondays, plugging away, working on something, or maybe somebody's got a special order, they really need something done. I am very happy to oblige and help people out when they are kind of in a pinch and they need something quickly. I will help you out always. Always ask. You'll never get anywhere if you don't ask, so ask and you shall receive. So that's who we are. If you've never watched us before, I've been tuning in with you guys 7 p.m. on Wednesday for the last couple of weeks. We just want to put ourselves out there for you guys. We know it's hard getting out of the house. We know it's hard to connect. It's hard. It's just hard lately. It's just hard. So we want to be there for you. We want to connect. It gives us an opportunity to put ourselves out there, let you kind of see us, see what we do. If you like something that you've seen us either post picture of or a video we've done, let us know. We're happy to ship. Yes, we have a website coming. It is not finished yet. It's probably my biggest struggle right now is getting that website up and running for you guys. It's a little bit more complicated than I had even realized. So we're working on it. It's coming. It's not there yet. But in the meantime, if you see something in a video or a picture of something and you want it and you don't want to come into the store, we understand. We will ship it to you. We'll deliver to you. Yes, we deliver to all of Berkshire County. I will deliver flowers. I will deliver merchandise, you just let me know what it is that you're looking for and we'll get you set up. There is a $5 delivery charge for flowers. If you're in the Berkshires, yes. If you're in Great Barrington, yes. If you're in North Adams, yes, we will still deliver to you. And certainly if you've got, you know, a lot of items being delivered, if you do a big purchase, we can be convinced to waive our $5 fee for customers that, you know, purchase over a certain amount. So by all means, you keep us posted, you let us know what you're looking for, what you need, and we're happy to help. The other thing is we know it's not been easy. So there's some people that have chosen, despite COVID, to get married. And if you're looking for flowers, especially maybe a little bit more affordable flowers, let us know. We will help you with that. And then, of course, the unfortunate situation of a funeral. We are happy to help you with that situation as well. We can, you know, help make those arrangements over the phone. We can do a conference video call. We'll do whatever we can to help you out with that very difficult situation. It's never easy to say goodbye to somebody, so we very much take that personally. We will handle any unfortunate or, you know, death arrangements as if it was our own family, so you will be in good hands, you know, should you need those services. I hope none of you do. I truly do. I will tell you, I've yet to have to, actually I've had one funeral I had to do, but aside from that, thank goodness, knock on wood, I've only had one. So, which is fantastic. That tells me, you know, that people hopefully are doing fairly well. Despite COVID, despite the number of people that have passed away, hopefully, you know, hopefully the worst is behind us. So I'm actually just moving my tape back a little bit just to make sure that it can't be seen. I'm going to flip this around to the front so you can see it. Very good. And again, there's different things you can do. Let's say you decided you wanted to add some other flowers to this, you most certainly could. Again, I'm just going through and I'm kind of playing with my tape here, just to make sure that you can't really see it quite so easily. So this arrangement has not been sold yet, so if you're looking at this video either now or tomorrow or later tonight or next week, I wouldn't wait. Somebody is going to buy this in the next probably couple of days. One or the other, this will find a home. No doubt in my mind. But if you're looking at this tonight or tomorrow and you really love it and you want it bad, you let me know and we'll get it to you. And then let's say it sells and you want something similar, let me know, because I can recreate just about any arrangement. So don't hesitate to let us know what you're looking for, what you need. Happy to help. All right. I think we're pretty good on this. All right, so that's the arrangement. That's what we've made tonight. I think it's super cute. It's a basket. This is a fantastic piece that it's definitely fun for me to make. I enjoy making them. I think they're easy to take care of. All you really need to do maintenance on this is simply put a little water into this basket. You know, I'd put a little in every day, but if you forget, you know, give it maybe every other day, throw some water in there. I always tell people, if you put your flowers next to the heater, they're not going to last as long. That's just a fact. And if you leave them outside and they freeze, they're going to die as well. So the flowers do super well in about 40-degree temperatures. So if you have a cooler place, I recommend keeping them in a cooler spot in your house. And another option would be if you've got it like a front porch or whatnot that you can keep things in, keep things cool but not freeze. It's smart to always, maybe pop your flowers out there at nighttime when you're not going to be enjoying them, and then pop them back inside. Baskets are harder to keep for as long as a vase. So a vase is easier because you can actually pop the flowers out. You can trim the ends every, 3 or 4 days, and change the water and put everything back into the vase, and it will look beautiful for a while. Baskets are a little bit harder because everything is set in here, so you really can't pop things out, trim the ends, and change the water out because everything's in this kind of foam sponge. So you really can't do that. But if you take care of this and you water it and you keep it in a kind of a cool place, it should last you a couple of weeks. The reality is it can last a couple of weeks. It will not look as great on day 10, as it did on day 1, but it will still, look pretty good. I do tell people if the flowers die, or they don't look, if they really die, like I'm going to toss them, they just are absolutely dead on the table, and you didn't put it right next to the heater, or you didn't leave it outside to freeze, if you just did, the normal thing, and that, your flowers die, before 7 days, please let us know. I want to know that information, and I want to know for a couple of reasons. One is I want to know because you paid for flowers and you deserve to have your flowers last you a little while. So I want to know for that reason, and I also want to know because I want to make sure that where I'm getting and sourcing my flowers from are, they're standing behind their products as well. So I hate to say it, but I don't grow the roses in the store. Roses don't grow super straight in the Northeast. You really need to have them near the equator in order for the roses to grow straight. So a lot of them are coming from down in South America. So if your flowers don't last at least 7 days, I want to know. I want you to tell me about it, and I want you to bring the vase back, and I'll fill it for free. I'm telling people that because I really feel strongly that I want to stand behind my products, and I want them to last you. I don't want, again, I'm an upcycler, I'm a recycler. I don't want things just thrown away. Flowers, you're going to have to throw them away eventually, but they ought to last you a while. So if for some reason your flowers don't last at least a week, I want to know. Let me know. I will help you out with that, and we'll make things work for you. So if there are no questions, which I don't see any, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. Again, this basket is available for sale. I would say this would be a $40 basket at the very least. So with a $5 delivery charge, you're looking at about $45 plus tax. So you're probably getting to be about $48 for this particular arrangement. This is an arrangement that has 6 red roses in it. And it's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spray roses in it. And then you have, the rest of your flowers. So those are good flowers. They're expensive flowers, and they're nice, and they'll last a little while. So I don't think that's a bad deal for a really beautiful basket of flowers. Yes, this can absolutely be a Valentine's Day gift. It could also be a fantastic Mother's Day arrangement. It's a good all-around arrangement for somebody that you care about, you love, and you want to show them that you love them. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. Yes, we're open this weekend. Valentine's Day is not next week. It's in a couple of weeks from now. But get your orders in early. Let me know what you need. And I hope you have a wonderful night and a great rest of your week. And I will talk to you next week.